What am I fighting for?
Wrong, Jarek. This is not a brutality. This is a fatality.
And on a closing note, don't forget me. Our next feature program for this Xeno Sunday is the first episode to a new show on the channel, Dramatis Personae, where certain characters will be explored to showcase their greatest strengths and what makes them so endearing to fans. Today's episode will be focused on the man, the myth, the legend, Dunban. As always, there will be Air of Seaside spoilers, so if you do not want to be spoiled, go put over 60 hours into one of the greatest RPGs, and then you can come back and watch. If you have beaten the game, or do not care about spoilers, then welcome. Let's begin. If I had to pick one strength that the Xenoblade Chronicles series nails with every one of its entries, it would have to be the characters. With such an expansive and colorful cast, it really says something about a character when they consistently rank among the top picks. And for today, we'll be examining what might be my favorite character from the series, the beast himself, Dunban. Known as the hero of the Homs, Dunban is a character that so many people adore, and rank is one of their favorites from the series, but for good reason. He embodies the mature role model archetype with a heart of gold as he travels with Shulk and the gang to accomplish their goal of revenge. Yet despite his age and remarkable determination, Dunban is not flawless as he is susceptible to his emotions getting the better of him, as depicted several times throughout the game's narrative. While he doesn't hold the role of protagonist, Dunban's presence in the story carves out some of the most fascinating character dynamics and interactions in Xenoblade Chronicles. In Dramatis Personae, I'd like to examine different aspects of the characters we're discussing, such as their design and personality, character arc, specific scenes, and gameplay if applicable to the title. So on that note, let's stay focused, stay sharp, with Dunban's presentation. When you look at Dunban, what are some of the first things you think of? If you said suave as hell, then you'd be correct. Within the main party, I'd say that Dunban has one of the cleanest designs with his high emphasis on red and black that is supported by dashes of white. Dunban rocks a red suit vest accentuated with white detailing, which supplements a cravat to give him an air of class, well-kept hair, knee-high boots, and a cape that primarily covers his right arm, which he lost use of following the battle at Sword Valley. The guy not only continues to fight with one arm, but can climb up walls in the most precarious situations. Did I also mention he can have an eye patch? If that's not badass, then I don't know what is. Regardless, this idea of structure and charisma that his attire conveys is manifested in his personality, a goal that the design elements of a character should strive for. While there is something to be said about a design that can subvert expectations, an effective design like Dunban's is something a player can look at and comprehend basic qualities of the character. Comparatively, I love Shulk and his design, but what the heck are those shorts, man? If these buckles were zippers, I would have sworn Tetsuya Nomura designed a Xeno, but wait a minute. Back on Dunban's arm, there's a heart-to-heart with Charla where the path that yields the most points discusses Dunban's handicap, and how he feels no regrets for how events played out since he wouldn't be able to repel the Mechon and save those he cared for. And it's that part right there that describes Dunban perfectly. A man with an overwhelming love and concern for those important to him. This trait is further supported in another heart-to-heart with Shulk, where Dunban talks with Shulk about the strength of heart and the power of conviction, such as the hero's desire to protect the kids when he was a soldier. These scenes really solidify his perspective on life and his values, which he treats with magnitude and a proper sense of duty. With regards to gameplay, Dunban offers a really interesting archetype. With most characters, you're free to customize them outside of their usual or recommended build, but Dunban's customizability seems stronger than most. If your heart desires, then you can build him as a glass cannon or bulky tank with the right arts and gems. His arts primarily encompass physical strikes and auras that can offer a lot of diversity to his kit. He can inflict both break and topple on his own, holds one of the most reliable topple arts, has a high DPS, and can control aggro and debuff soundly. Some of my personal favorite arts are Battle Eye, Jaws of Death, and Serene Heart. Bolstering the highest agility stat in the game, Dunban can strengthen his physical accuracy and evasion to incredible heights that can help in tackling higher level opponents. His HP stat is relatively low, but coupled with some of his artifacts that boost evasion even further, he can become practically untouchable. Dunban's dodge tank build is pretty reminiscent of the central archetype of Morag from Xenoblade 2, which the similarity might explain why I love both of these characters so much. And of course, who could forget the legendary Naked Dunban strat, where it's based around building up Dunban's aggro exponentially in conjunction with that incredible speed stat. So not only are you building an effective dodge tank, but you're doing it in the most fabulous and sexy way possible. But Dunban's six-pack isn't the only aspect he contributes to the wonder that is Xenoblade Chronicles, since he also has by far the best talent art in the game, which I swear is impossible to not chime in and finish.
Born in a world of strife, against the odds.
We choose to fight! Blossom dance!
If you haven't noticed, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 characters are incredibly quotable, and Dunban is one of my personal favorites. He carries this aura of composure and confidence, but he's not above offering his sense of humor to the group as well.
You can't have a rainbow without Rhine, baby.
Dunban, I think you need to have a talk with Rhine.
No, let's pretend it didn't happen.
Dunban's remarks could be tongue-in-cheek, which draws its comedy from the high level of esteem the rest of the party holds him in.
How would you rate me in that battle?
Amateurish.
Yes, amateurish.
Oh man, after all my training.
Dunban's design, demeanor, and surface-level conversations help to define his character and set him apart from such a strong cast. But the real essence of the beast is seen through his development over the course of Xenoblade Chronicles' story. To dissect Dunban's character as effectively as possible, the story elements will be split into two major sections. Dunban's own troubles and inner demons as mainly seen in the narrative's first half, and the path to find his true self in the second. Let's begin at, well, the beginning. The Homs are engaged in battle with the Mechon as they move to assault the Bionis by means of Sword Valley. Although the fate of the Hom forces look grim and make their retreat, Dunban faces the danger head-on while wielding the Monado. I love the framing of the shot where the soldiers are fleeing from conflict and dozens of feet are running towards the left of the frame, but the camera suddenly stops for a brief moment and moves just as fast to the right as it follows Dunban's feet. The segment sets up Dunban as fearless and special, only to be emphasized by the interesting red blade with blue lightning that signifies his uniqueness. Oh yeah, that Monado he's wielding? It's slowly killing him. As noted by Dixon, the Monado is taking a toll on Dunban's body every second he uses it, yet Dunban continues to fight. Every time the blade is engaged, you can see small sparks of electricity envelop his body, and at one point he collapses from the pain only to be saved by Dixon. The scene also helps to establish the sense of camaraderie that Dunban has with his fellow soldiers, Dixon and Mumkar. Hippie Hulk Hogan is a total bro, and throws the insult of beast at Dunban, but you can tell there seems to be a connection between these two. With Mumkar, he's kind of a dirtbag, as he looks for any way to escape conflict and take the Monado from Dunban's corpse. But you can tell these characters have history through Dunban's playful teasing of him. Although, Mumkar flees and falls into a dark abyss with several Mechon lasers trained on him, as Dunban and Dixon sprint right into the heart of the Mechon forces, thus ending the opening. When we cut a year forward to Shulk and life within Colony 9, we see that Dunban is back home resting and the brother of Fiora, Shulk's childhood friend and love interest. Life seems to be at peace. Shulk happily studies the Monado and hangs with his friends. There's calming music, and the colony folk all seem to live in harmony. But then everything changed when the Mechon forces attacked. As the attack is occurring and people are getting eaten alive, there's two major questions. Where is the Monado, and where is Dunban? Both of these are answered in one of the coolest entrances for a character, where you hear the battle cry and realize it's about to go down. Much like the last introduction, the shot focuses on Dunban's legs, but this time as he tears through an entire wave of Mechon. I absolutely adore this moment where you can tell Dunban is tired and enduring more pain from the Monado, but he slowly raises himself up, back turned to the camera, and drops a badass one-liner.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Wrong game. Hold up.
Sorry I kept you waiting.
The way that Shulk and Ryan kind of fanboy over seeing Dunban and the Monado in action is a perfect representation of my sentiments. As the assault continues, Dunban collapses in pain and delivers a line when reaching for the Monado again that really epitomizes his character, but I must. I think this shows how Dunban doesn't see what he's doing as a choice, but a necessity that he is more than willing to put his body and life on the line for. Once Shulk takes the Monado, everything seems to be going well, but tragedy strikes when you least expect it. Fiora is impaled by Metalface, and you can see how truly distraught Dunban is during this moment, but it's his follow-up conversation with Shulk that speaks volumes to his character. Dunban tells Shulk that he does feel incredible, unfathomable sadness, yet he refuses to cry as a way of honoring Fiora's memory, just as he did with his brothers he lost at the Battle of Sword Valley. What really sets the tone of this moment is the introduction of Parting And, that moves its way into the scene's background. Its addition amplifies the emotions and encourages you to reflect heavily on Dunban's words. Remember the gift of life that Fiora gave you, and treasure it. Shulk says it best himself when he expected to go and console Dunban, but in a twist that cements Dunban's status as a role model, it was Dunban who was the one to help Shulk. And despite going against what Shulk believed Dunban's desire was by pursuing Metalface for revenge, Dunban is shown to completely understand their decision and remarks how he will be there soon to seize their destiny. This excerpt not only gets us excited at the notion of Dunban being a party member and playable character later, but that he empathizes with their choice and encourages it. Dunban isn't just someone to stand down and become self-absorbed in his own troubles. He has his own desires, his own feelings, but he likely had to reserve them at that moment so he could heal his wounded arm and take the role of a strong figure for the two boys in such a difficult time. As Shulk and Ryan make their way across the Bionis, we're given significantly less Dunban time. The two, with the help of Sharla, a sniper-wielding medic from Colony 6, escape from the Ether Mines after saving He Who Shall Not Be Named, but finally encounter Metalface once more. It seems pretty hopeless to stop him, until, in typical Dunban fashion, we get an awesome entrance where what I consider the theme of Dunban, Unfinished Battle, kicks in and he sprints straight down a cliff. But not just any cliff, it's
one that's going up at a 90-degree angle.
Unfinished Battle is a severely underutilized song. I think anybody can say that. But it only serves to make this moment that much greater. The framing of Dixon on the cliff, where he calls out to Dunban to be unleashed like a savage animal from a cage, the classic battle cry, and his ability to cut through Mechon without the Monado, all compiles into a phenomenal scene that makes you acknowledge the greatness of Dunban. Before moving on to Dunban's biggest scene, I'd like to examine one particular area that sets up the payoff to come, the battle at Prison Island leading to the encounter with Mumkar on Mount Valak. Starting with Alcatraz, Dunban has a duel and brief conversation with Metalface that hints at his true identity. After Metalface name drops the hero, Dunban asks, "What or who are you?" I like the change in phrasing since he shifts from seeing Metalface as an inhuman monster to an individual that might bear humanistic qualities. Keep this in mind for later. Metalface then shortly throws out an attack that Dunban associates with someone he knows from his past, yet questions the possibility. So the audience is given one layer of consideration, but then it is revealed that the silver-faced Mechon accompanying Metalface is truly Fiora underneath. Look at the smile and expression of relief on Dunban's face when he finds out his sister is truly alive. While he might not understand, he seems completely awestruck, and at the first sign that she might be leaving, Dunban sprints right past Shulk, almost pushing him back. It's a detail that deepens our understanding of Dunban and Fiora's relationship, and shows how truly hurt by her supposed death Dunban was under his facade. That connection is further realized when Dunban speaks to Shulk in the Hyentia capital after the battle to say how he is no longer sad. He's incredibly relieved, albeit a bit worried. Dunban tells Shulk he wants his help to save Fiora, and like the best brother, just comes out to tell Shulk that Fiora has feelings for him. So not only is Dunban a great role model that guides Shulk's morals and fighting skills, he's a team player by helping him out with his love life. Good on you, Dunban. But as the party leaves the capital and onto the Bionis' arm, we get the second chapter in the Dunban vs. Metalface saga, where Metalface is confirmed to be his old war buddy, Mumkar. When this reveal happens, you can tell that Dunban is not shocked in the least since he pieced it all together earlier. But I think it's when he sees the reality before him that he finally pieces together the weight of the situation and how much agony Mumkar has caused. This is when Dunban, consumed by fury, becomes unleashed, and we're presented with an awesome duel. Here, the player is told how Mumkar has always loved Dunban deep down and now has the confidence to show it given his newfound power. Dunban's anger is primarily built through his disgust at Mumkar's mass bloodshed, all for his desire for the Monado, but he keeps the upper hand the entire time and concludes his battle with a definitive stinger. I believe this battle is the release of all of Dunban's pent-up emotions and aggression. He's been able to hold it back, but now that he knows Fiora's alive and he's confronted with the reality of his worst beliefs, he can't control it. Dunban has become corrupted by the very thoughts he kept at bay, which paves way to the climax of Dunban's character arc. What is likely my favorite cutscene with Dunban is the clash between him and Metalface at the Heavy Machine Depot at the end of Sword Valley. The game signals to us that this particular section will be significant to Dunban as he walks in the front of the party and is the first to respond in the cutscene leading to the boss battle. It also serves as a wonderful parallel to the introduction with the Battle of Sword Valley, since now instead of fighting on the same side against a common foe, Mumkar and Dunban are each other's enemies, one representing his original faction and the other becoming the very thing he fought against. This dynamic relationship is the core of what makes this encounter so memorable, as they both share a deep hatred for one another, but for very different reasons. Following the battle's conclusion, Metalface is reaching his limits when Dunban, consumed by desires of revenge and in a fit of rage, sprints over to finish him off. I love the shot sequence displayed here because in order we see Metalface powering up for a large energy blast, Dunban going in for the final blow, and then Shulk screaming stop, which might lead the player to believe that Shulk is warning Dunban about Metalface's desperation attack. However, the next shot pans slowly down to reveal Shulk stopping Dunban's sword from digging deeper into the Mekon's chest and killing Mumkar. I briefly discussed how seamlessly Xenoblade Chronicles frames its shots in my video on the game's foreshadowing, and I really think this is another excellent example. As Shulk and Dunban struggle against each other, their conversation revolves around whether it's truly necessary to kill Mumkar. I enjoyed Dunban's shot at Shulk where he asked what happened to his killer instinct, as well as Shulk acknowledging in response that he truly does hate Mumkar, but there is a line he refuses to cross, killing Faced Mechon. If Shulk and his party kill the Faced Mechon, what would make them any better than the Mechon? Dunban isn't too receptive until Shulk snaps him out of his rage by proposing the hypothetical scenario where these needs Dunban refers to would have them kill Fiora. It's at this very moment that you can see Dunban's eager glare dissipate into a contemplative look, and the player can grasp how this journey has changed these two characters. As a callback to the earlier moments of Xenoblade Chronicles, Shulk started his quest for revenge as someone dominated by emotion and driven by a singular goal, while Dunban was the level-headed role model that managed to keep his calm following the death of Fiora. However, we are now seeing a role reversal where all Dunban can think about is the satisfaction of his own desire, and Shulk is collected because of the conclusion he has reached. At this point in the narrative, Shulk has almost taken the position of Dunban that he once idolized and has become a stronger individual, yet Dunban has fallen prey to his emotions just like Shulk did. And just as Dunban helped put Shulk at ease following his sister's death, now it's Shulk's turn to bring Dunban back to reality. To quote Dixon, "Looks like the student finally surpassed the teacher." I absolutely cherish the significance in clashing in these morals between these two characters, which is only enhanced by the stellar voice acting of Adam Howden and Rufus Jones. Not only are they delivering the lines with weight and emotion, but you can hear how they implement the characters' struggles into their delivery, and every aspect culminates into a spectacular interaction. And after understanding Shulk's new purpose, Dunban's anger subsides. Nevertheless, he still manages to show his dominance over Mumkar by halting another attack without a word and throwing a savage jab, just like the Dunban we recognize from his exchanges with party members. One last vision, and the Metal Face meets his demise by his own doing, which Dunban addresses with one final declaration.
You went too far, you fool.
I initially wasn't too fond of this conclusion of the Metal Face's arc because I loved him so much as a villain and didn't want to see him go, but because I also wanted to see Dunban get his revenge. Metal Face had caused so much torment that I wished for Shulk or Dunban to strike him down for my own satisfaction, much like Dunban did. Now when I think back on the scene, I'm quite happy with the turnout, and although I'll always want more Metal Face, I think it's a fitting conclusion. Succeeding Dunban's big moment in the narrative, his presence begins to fall back a bit to give way for some of the other characters to shine. That's not to say he doesn't serve a purpose or contribute, since there's a really great scene that shifts the focus to him and Ricky on the beach of the Fallen Arm. Following the events of Sword Valley and Galahad Fortress, I think Dunban is still a bit lost and struggling to find his footing, but this quiet moment is really important in reminding Dunban of his worth and importance. Although they might not both be fathers, they each serve as mentors to people they love. What stands out about the scene is the calm setting and the sight of a genuine conversation between two characters that might not appear to have that much in common upon first glance. Yet it's this level of interaction that I don't think you see too often in JRPGs, and it really convinces the player that these individuals have grown together over the course of their journey despite their different personalities, backgrounds, and cultures. At this point, I believe the first half of Dunban's arc begins to fade along with his insecurities, and gives way to the second arc, with another stab to the back. The Mechonis head is when an insane amount of revelations and variables drastically affect characters, and Dunban is no different. After Shulk and Egil go to settle their differences, Dixon appears and shoots Shulk straight in the chest. Dunban is the first person to turn around and question Dixon's actions, and both Ryan and him do well in their delivery to show how baffled and exasperated they are. And this surprise carries over the Dunban's astonishment when he hears that Dixon is Zanza's disciple. I think the real power of this line exchange comes from Dunban not asking Dixon what Egil meant or who are you really. Instead, it comes from what are you, which I think speaks to what Dunban's experienced. One of his war brothers was transformed into a metallic monster with hatred and malice, so to see another one of his friends, the one he trusted the most, also betray the party by attacking someone important to him, it must seem like they too have lost their humanity in Dunban's eyes. And I think it's a really good parallel to what we saw at Prison Island. He likely responds in this way because he's been through this ordeal before and the stage has been set again. Fear begins to settle in that Dixon isn't the person Dunban knew all these years, and that must be incredibly painful in conjunction with Mumkar's betrayal. You can even hear a lot of the pain in Dunban's retorts in the Mechonis and aboard Junks. There's a small detail that beautifully puts matters into perspective following the battle against Dixon on Junks, where he taunts Dunban by calling him a stupid beast, but there's more to it this time. Throughout the game, Dixon had referred to Dunban as a beast on several occasions, to which the player could interpret it as a nickname or a term that seemed to be an insult but was truly endearing. Yet, now that Dixon's true motives are known, the context of this name has morphed from this playful moniker into a true insult. For Dunban, the separation and true nature of their relationship sinks in, which is represented by his change in facial expressions and the drop of his head to not meet Dixon's eyes. This disappointment changes to anger when Dixon brings up the past and how everything they shared, the victories, the drinks, the memories, there was no meaning or value behind them. All of this tension builds towards the final encounter with Dixon at the peak of Prison Island. In the penultimate battle of Xenoblade Chronicles, there are a lot of small character placements and details that help to solidify their emotions and sentiments. When first approaching Dixon in the battle, Dunban is in the back of the group and is hidden behind Shulk for most of the shots. This could be to keep the attention on the relationship between Dixon and Shulk, but it could also be used as a means to show how Dunban really does not have anything left to say to Dixon. He realizes where Dixon's allegiance lies and knows the pain of losing one friend, so I don't think Dunban has the will to beseech him, seek revenge, or anything really. Dunban's apathy is additionally emphasized in the battle's conclusion, where he seems to be staring off into the distance and is the final one of the group to turn around and walk away. The shot then transitions into a panning medium close-up of Dunban in the foreground and Dixon in the background that represents their relationship. Dunban walks away with what appears to be a deep breath followed by an expressionless face, while Dixon slinks down the wall and succumbs to his wounds. I view this scene as a symbol that illustrates Dunban turning his back to the past and letting it die, so he can move on with his life and focus on what's more important to him. The moment is made immensely sad because we're shown that deep down Dixon did have a connection with Shulk and rethinks his course of actions, but it was the path he chose. At the end of the day, Dunban and Dixon each went their separate ways, and even though Dunban endured countless hardships with the loss of his arm, the tragedy of his sister, and the betrayal of both his best friends, he grew as a person despite the world pushing back. Dunban's character arc contains plenty of ups and downs, but ultimately reveals the true hero of the Homs that we know. A selfless individual that rises to the occasion so that he can protect those he cares about, and someone who isn't afraid to connect with those around him, whether it's through the convergence of Bionis life forms or throwing his brand of humor into the mix. And that is why Dunban is such an amazing character. Hey everyone, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video, and I really hope you enjoyed. This has been something that I've wanted to do for a while. I've wanted to do character studies, just analysis for a bit of time, and I have a couple more planned out for the future, but I wanted to kick it off with something Xenoblade related and one of my favorite characters from the series that could always deserve some more love. If you enjoyed the video, I would be extremely grateful if you would like to leave a like or subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. Also, please feel free to leave a comment down below to maybe just like initiate a conversation or just talk. You know, Xenoblade is something that we all love. Games, we all love them. And that's something I want to do with the comment section, is just really kind of like build a sense of community and just start some really cool conversations. I've also seen some really cool ideas for videos that I want to implement in the future. A lot of Xenoblade Chronicles X stuff, so don't worry about that. My school year actually just concluded, so I'm going to be playing a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles, getting footage for that and coming up with some ideas, as well as taking some of your ideas too and trying to convert them into a video, so I could just focus on videos and whatever I'm going to be doing for work over the summer. Again, thank you guys so much for all the continued support. It's crazy how much this channel has kind of grown over the past couple of months. I really did not expect this, and you know, it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you all, and until next time.